Virginia Tech, Mr. Highlight, who's been out nearly 2 months with an injury. He makes his return today, and a lot of eyes will be on him. If you want to watch Bryce Indonian, that's available on ACC Network Extra over on Mat 2. Back to it with Virginia and Pitt. Sanko and Keslar squaring up. And a quick three for Sanko. How tough is this, Anthony? Cavaliers thinking it's going to be Seno, who's been nursing an injury. He's unable to go, so they make the decision this week, midweek, to go with Sanko. So it's that mindset, you have to be ready at all times.
Absolutely, you have to be ready. You never know when your number is going to be called. And Sanko, way to go out there and be aggressive from the start of the match, right? Attack, get to your stuff. You never know when your opportunity is going to come. You just got to be ready for it. And the way you do that is train hard every single day in that wrestling. Prepare. How do you prepare for those moments?
Bring in for the first time this afternoon a little bonus coverage, couple of mats to keep an eye on, and Indonian not wasting any time. 5 up on the board for the first minute 12, taking on Logan Ferrero of Duke. So when you watch your wrestlers, we keep an eye on Indonian with the ride as he sticks his leg in. What are you looking for from a wrestler coming back from a prolonged absence away from the competitive match?
One thing is just the timing. You know, the timing with his attacks, his shots, with his level changes, just getting that timing dialed back in can be difficult coming out from so much rest. And also the conditioning factor, right? Everyone can wrestle hard for a minute or 2 minutes, but what happens in that second, third period when the conditioning starts to become a factor and the pressure starts to build on you? But, I mean, watching Indonian yesterday in practice, he looked great. The way he was moving, he looked like he was flowing well. He was in high spirits, kind of joking around a little bit. You know, if one guy can do it, he can. He's got the mentality for it. And that's what this sport teaches you, right? There's going to be some ups and downs. You're going to face the injuries, the setbacks here and there. But it's that mental toughness that you develop when you stick through this sport. So Indonian right now, he's doing an excellent job controlling the match, staying in the attack. He's got to protect himself. That's the key thing, right? You're coming back from injuries. You got to protect yourself in those situations. Yes, you're healed up. Yes, you're clear to be back on the mat, but right, you never know if it's quite 100% just yet. So things you could do before, you don't necessarily want to put yourself in those situations if you can avoid it.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and when you watch Bryce Indonian in his career, he comes up with a way to get in some pretty funky situations. He is so fun to watch. If you could put a highlight reel of Indonian and showcase it to a bunch of young wrestlers who are deciding on what sport they want to pursue, it would be a great tape to play. 5-1 Indonian on the right. Sanko, solid performance. He leads 8-2 over Jared Keslar first period as they are approaching a minute to go. Sanko, the sophomore from Rochester, New York. He has certainly stepped up for Coach Garland this season with the injury to Cedeno. He's been utilized often. New York State runner-up his senior year back in 22, a 3-time New York State place winner. Sanko with an 8-2 lead. You see some of the Indonian magic here, the explosion he has.
You see Indonian heavy on the head, waiting for that head to pop up. That's the thing, right? The timing. Your opponent's coming up, lower your level, get in on the shot, and then the pressure behind it, driving through your shot. Again, timing is one of the key things that you look for. And right there, Indonian shows he's got the timing dialed in right now. He's looking good.
Speaking of looking good, Nick Sanko lights out in this first period. Already double-digit points. He is putting it on Jared Keslar, the redshirt freshman. Has that arm barred up. See if he can get a turn before the end of the period. 10 seconds to go. Indonian also hitting 11 as we watch Bryce on the right side find his offense frequently. 11-2 for Sanko after the first period. 11-2 Indonian. Not quite halfway through period 2 on the right.
Nick Sanko of Virginia at 11-2 lead at the end of 1 on mat number 1. It's now the Jared Keslar of Pitt.
Another thing I was mentioning was just keeping that the condition, right? Can you keep that pace? Can you keep that pressure? I'm keeping an eye on Indonian right now, and he's staying on the attack. He's keeping with those level changes. It's getting late in the second period, about 1 minute left. He's still pressing forward. Doesn't look like the conditioning's a factor just yet, so we'll see if he can keep that up.
Second period. See if Keslar can find something up top to get back into it. A rough opening 3 minutes. Keslar of Pitt. Panthers up to this point having a pretty good opening round. Keslar entering these ACCs, had dropped 5 of his last 7 matches. Lost to Ed Scott, 2 seeds, 16-3. Lost to the top seed, Sonny Santiago, 11-4. Keep in mind that Keslar has a win over Nick Sanko this year. The two met in the duel, and he pinned him. Completely different story right now, though, down 10.
And at this level, I mean, these guys are so good. It's all about those little adjustments, right? It might not reflect it on the scoreboard and what happened in previous matches, but little adjustments. Here, Keslar got the little whip over on the edge of the mat.
Sanko in some trouble. Keslar for the second time this year pins Sanko as he rallies from way back.
Extremely impressed with Keslar there, maintaining his composure with that whip over on the edge of the mat. Losing in this match and just being able to battle back, right? You never know. It's that next position. Have that short-term memory. Keep fighting. Big things can happen.
Down 12-2, no panic from Jared Keslar.
See Keslar right there, he's got the little chin, going for the whip over on the edge. Keeping that right toe in balance. Circling, chest to chest, elevating the head. Excellent job.